Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so what are we talking about? We're talking about the IST championship game between the Lakers and the Pacers. Yeah, man, we did it. We punched our ticket to Vegas, and our team made it to the championship game. The Pacers are the number one overall offense in the game, and I could say after the Lakers got healthy, we're probably the number one overall defensive team in the game. They say better offense beats better defense. Well, we're going to put that to the test tonight at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. I believe that's how that goes. Check this timing just to make sure, but I think it's at 5:30. And what you're looking at tonight is a situation where we don't have to worry about Andrew Nembhard, because Nembhard rolled his ankle in the game against who they just played. Who was that they just played? In the semifinal game. The Bucks. He rolled an ankle, and unfortunately for his team, he will not be out there to shoot us down like he did last year in our building. Not soon we'll forget that. You also are going to be missing Jalen Smith. I call him Sticks, and most people call him Sticks. He's had that nickname for a long time. He will also be out, so that is what's going on there. Now, for me, I did a little homework on this team, but I didn't really do a lot of homework on this team because I watched a post-game show with Laker Nation, and the young fella basically did all the homework for us. I can't think of his name. It's just killing me that I forgot my man's name, but shout out to Laker Nation for putting together fantastic homework and a game plan for the Los Angeles Lakers in order for us to basically put ourselves in a position to kind of know what would otherwise work after homework being done. So I encourage everybody to go check out the post-game show with Laker Nation to kind of see what I was looking at, and you'll get some of the pointers that I took from him on here. But basically, this is what we are looking at. This is one of the best teams in regards to fast break basketball. You can expect for certain for them to get out in transition and score on you. You can expect for their half-court offense to score on you, and you can expect for them not to turn the ball over very much, if at all. Tyrese Halliburton is basically one of the best point guards for not turning the ball over. The game is seen. He's going to also be someone who's expected to get over 12 assists a game because that's what he averages. He's a 20 and 12 guy on average. He's putting up basically Chris Paul numbers. Not really a major rebounder, but his height is something that you have to deal with. And then on the defensive end, when he was drafted, it was said that he was a defensive player. He's somebody who excels on the defensive end, gets steals and stuff like that. So he doesn't have too many holes in his game. Highly efficient. Can shoot the ball as well as anybody. And is somebody you just have to take as seriously as you would take any elite point guard in any era of any time. So as you look forward into this game, you understand that not only is he a fantastic shooter, but then you got to look at guys like Buddy Hield, who can shoot the ball very well. Guy like Obi Toppin's on this team, who's catching lobs, can shoot the ball as well. Isaiah Jackson, a player who initially was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, traded to the Pacers on draft day. He too is a player, I believe, that can do a lot of things, particularly rebounding the ball, dunking the ball. I don't know that he shoots very well, but he's somebody that you're going to have to take very seriously tonight, given the fact that they're going to be down sticks. Of course, Miles Turner. Since we're talking about shooting the ball, he's a three-point shooter. Of course, everybody from LA knows of Miles Turner because we had so many rumors, I guess is the word I'm looking for, in regards to him possibly becoming a Laker, trying to trade for him, this and that. He eventually re-signed with the Pacers, the only team he's ever played for, and now he is in a situation where he's going to have an opportunity at the first overall NBA Cup. And you know, we're really excited about this. Our Lakers just came off a 44-point beatdown of the New Orleans Pelicans. BDF 44 here, so you know that meant a lot to me. After especially having to have a conversation about having getting beaten by 44 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. But we're long past that. We've since gotten healthy, more or less. We're only missing Gabe Vincent tonight. Everybody else is expected to play, and it is going to be a fantastic opportunity. By the way, the young fella's name is Sean Davis. So check out Sean Davis' show. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. But nevertheless, what you want to do tonight, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, is to try to find a way to force turnovers against the Pacers. They do not turn the ball over very much, ever, as already mentioned. So if you're going to go up against them and have any success, you want to pattern yourself after what the Portland Trailblazers did about 5 games ago, forcing them into 20 turnovers and having them shoot under 30% from behind the arc. Now, I don't think they took the Portland Trailblazers very seriously. I think they expected they were just going to beat the Portland Trailblazers at home, and the Portland Trailblazers caught them off guard, more or less. And I think that that's more so what we can expect will not happen, given the fact that this is a championship game. But if we follow the game plan that Sean put together for us, with the pointers of the fact that they're basically a team that doesn't necessarily want to finish at the rim, especially over a guy like Anthony Davis. They would much rather get in a shootout and shoot the ball over your head from behind the arc. If we can limit those 3-point shots and put ourselves in a position to force this team toward Anthony Davis, with guys like Vando, with guys like Cam Reddish, we should be able to force more turnovers than their average, given the fact that we're such a talented defensive team. Now, we're coming off a game where we damn near shot 50% from both the field and behind the arc. I don't think we've shot that well from behind the arc all season. This is a team, the Los Angeles Lakers, who before that had a game against this Phoenix Suns where we shot damn near 30% from both. But our defense was able to carry us, and not turning the ball over really helped as well in that particular matchup. So, it's one of those situations where, because we're so hot and cold shooting the ball, can't necessarily expect for us to shoot very well tonight. But we can say that this Indiana team is not a good defensive team. 28th overall defensive rating out of 30 teams. They pretty much punt the defensive end for scoring. So we're going to have to go ahead and take advantage of that, and hopefully we shoot the ball well against them. When you're looking at the Indiana Pacers, you don't want to go too far away from talking about their backup point guard, TJ McConnell. If for some reason Tyrese Halliburton gets a foul trouble or rolls an ankle or something, you still have a lot to worry about, because TJ McConnell could step right in and do basically similar stuff. Fantastic steals player, fantastic playmaker, and definitely somebody in a one-game situation you do not want to face against. He's more or less a Patrick Beverly type of guy with a bit more talent than Patrick on the offensive end. And so that's what I know about TJ McConnell. He's more than capable of stepping in and putting up big point guard stats against us if we don't take him seriously. So there will be no plays off from their playmaking perspective. It's one of the reasons why they have the best offense in the game, because no matter what, they pretty much have somebody on the floor who can get all of their shooters the ball. Guys like Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, they're never going to be lacking a playmaker down there that basically has elite talent. So that's something we need to understand. Got a guy by the name of Aaron Naismith that we need to take very seriously tonight. Defensive player who can also shoot the ball. He was drafted to be a 3-point shooter, has developed into a good defensive player. So the typical 3-and-D is basically what you're expecting him to be going forward. But he is a very, very talented player who can go off in a one-game situation. See, that's key to all of this. This is a team with the lowest payroll in the league. And basically, in regards to that, you want to make sure you understand that because there's $500,000 on the line, they're going to be playing like their lives are on the line. These guys they ain't got no billionaires on their team like we do. So we need to be very respectful of the fact that they're here to win it. They've taken this tournament very seriously, just like we have. They have the 5th overall record in the East with the 5th overall record in the West. So there's a lot of parity between these two teams. Best offense, best defense. This is going to be shaping up to be a fantastic game. And with a superstar player like Tyrese Halliburton on the floor, making plays for everybody, scoring in his own right, obviously averaging 26 points a game, and doesn't turn the ball over, basically the best player in the league for not turning the ball over, you understand that you have your hands full with this basketball team. And if you try to run with them or get in a shootout with them, you are not going to win the basketball game. That's essentially what Sean Davis taught us tonight and watching the game, rather today. You ain't going to beat them if you try to go in a 3-point shooting. If you let them shoot 40 threes and they hit 25 of them, you lost. That's basically what it is. You're not going to be able to keep up with them offensively. You could take a page out of the game we had against OKC where we just didn't shoot enough, and we didn't more or less put ourselves in a position to even keep up with them offensively because of it. Now, granted, we didn't have our Vando back. We didn't have our Rui back. We were missing some talent. I don't think Jackson Hayes played in that game. So we were down a lot of guys that made us a different team. Right now, with the players that we're bringing back, that should not be an issue. We do not have that problem today. So that's one of the things I can honestly say. The Pacers are going up against, by far, the best wing set of players that they've faced thus far this season. Now, they did have a game against the Orlando Magic where they lost the game. Orlando had a fantastic game plan against them, as illustrated by Sean Davis. And I tell you, if we study that game, I think we'll see some things that we can ultimately duplicate, because, of course, we have wings just like they do, with them having Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero and Jonathan Isaac. We can kind of mirror some of that with the guys that we have. Anthony Davis, of course, Vando, Cam, young fella Max Christie. Defense will be so very important tonight against the best offensive team in the league, to say the least. For all the marbles and money on the line and a freaking trophy, there's nothing more important than us bringing our best defensive effort to the table. Nothing at all. Now, we've been but we've been holding teams under their averages of late, and I'm pretty pleased with that. You know, the last 2 out of 3 games, we've held teams under 100 points. And that is not minor when you consider what this league is scoring on average these days, and how many shots actually go up from game to game to game. You definitely don't expect that to be something that you see very often going forward. But nevertheless, if the Lakers can continue to play the defense that they've been playing, you will see us hold teams lower than most. And maybe we can get these Pacers to at least stay under 108, 110 points. I think we can win that basketball game if that is the case, given how bad defensively they're expected to play. So this is what's on my mind, man. Don't sleep on the Obi Toppin lob, man. Don't sleep on the fact that this team can run faster than you. They are a speed demon team, so getting back is very important. We're going to have to commit to either letting them get out in transition and addressing our second chance points demons, which we're not a very good second chance point team, giving up offensive rebounds left and right. We can crash the glass and maybe limit some of that. Or we could put ourselves in a position to get back and try to stop their defense. So rebounding the ball, I think, is very important. But when you let them get into a certain rhythm running, they're not going to stop. They have the personnel for that. Now, I do think that they're going to have an adjustment to make with Andrew Nembhard being out. They're not used to him being out. I don't know that he's missed many games this season, if any. So that adjustment could work in our favor quite a bit. I'd imagine that means more TJ McConnell. Buddy Hield's probably got more minutes coming his way. So maybe we can kind of get those guards in foul trouble somehow and put ourselves in a position to really destroy them with Austin Reeves and guys like that. D'Angelo Russell is going to be expected to have a pretty solid night in a situation like that. But I think the key to all of this is trying our very best to get their bigs off the floor. That's my opinion. You want to get their bigs off the floor. Why? Because they're already going to have trouble trying to guard Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Yes, they can score on every possession, but we can score better than they can defend, especially if we stay in this position to score the way that we've scored in the last game. Clearly, they can't beat us if we shoot like we did in the last game, but that's not the point. The point is we got a better shot at slowing down their defense, slowing down their offense than they do of scoring on our defense, in my opinion. Or stopping us from scoring is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going all over the place. But basically, I think we'll do a better job on them than they'll do on us in that way. And because of it, that's something that we can do. We can really take advantage of if for some reason Miles Turner is out of the game. They're not stopping Bron if Miles Turner ain't in the game. They're not stopping AD if Miles Turner ain't in the game. So if you get Miles Turner in foul trouble and they're relying upon Isaiah Jackson to be their only real backup center, it's barbecue chicken alert. It's over with. We got to take advantage of where we can, because they're going to have players like Mathurin, who are fantastic two-way players. I'd imagine you see more of him tonight without Nembhard. So they're a little thin out there, man. This is a big Anthony Davis game. Let's just call it like I see it. This is a big Anthony Davis game. You should be able to rebound the ball. You should be able to stop players driving at the rim if we run the right game plan. You should be able to score the ball, for which we need him to score more. This can't be a 15-point Anthony Davis game against this offense. That's not going to work. You got to have your superstar big boy pants on tonight, AD, if we're going to beat this team. I tell you right now, we already know that. And I think if he does have that type of game, we're taking home that NBA Cup, straight up. So this is a night where I'm not really sure what the Lakers are going to be wearing. Obviously, these two teams wear yellow. They've already told the Lakers they can't wear their black uniforms. And the site that usually shows me what uniforms we're going to be wearing has yet to put them on the screen. I don't think anybody knows what these two teams are wearing. I'd imagine they both won't be wearing yellow. So if I'm a betting man, I'd say the Lakers are going to wear white and the Pacers will probably wear yellow. But I honestly don't know what they're going to be wearing. That's a guess, though. But clearly, the Lakers are the home team in this situation, not only because we have the better record, but we also are in a position to more or less have the home court with this being in Las Vegas. And everybody knows Vegas is a Laker town. So I'm super excited about the atmosphere the Los Angeles Lakers are going to have out there tonight. When I look back on what the Pacers have done, obviously they're on a 3-game winning streak just like us. In order to be in this situation, you would have to be, given the fact the last 2 games are knockout round games, and you were trying to qualify the one before that. But they had a game against Portland, as we said, about 4 games ago where they lost that game. And they played in 2 very high-scoring matchups against the Heat. They won 1, lost 1. One of them for which Tyrese did not play. And they scored 144 points without Tyrese Halliburton, which is absolutely insane. And then they went on to have that 3-game winning streak where they played against, I believe it was the Celtics. Not in this order. It was the Celtics, of course, the Bucks, and that other team that they played. I do not remember who it was. It might have been the Miami game. I think that was the Miami game. Not really certain, though. But all in all, winging it when I speak of the Pacers, to say that this game does not count against the record, against the season series against the Pacers, for which we'll have 2 games against them in March. It's the only Eastern Conference team that we'll see 3 times. But any of the stats that take place tonight is strictly for the championship and will be weighed against future championship games for the Cup. So this is a very first clean slate. The only time you're ever going to see this type of statistical situation will be for this particular matchup in any games going forward, as I already said, for the championship. Everything else counts against the season. Everything we just did counted against the season, except for this. So this is not the game to get hurt in at all. But because it's $500,000 on the line for each basketball player, and because you get a trophy for this game, I have no doubt that the intensity for this game will be overwhelming, to say the least. This is a Game 7 in the minds of these players, probably even more important for some of them who are trying to get that money. So, I look at this situation and I say, I'm expecting the Los Angeles Lakers to understand the severity of what bringing intensity to this game is actually going to mean. Because the Pacers are the other team, in my opinion, that takes this thing as seriously as we do. Most of the league has taken it seriously to a degree, some of them not. But the Pacers, since the beginning of the tournament, have absolutely been hell-bent on winning this trophy, just like we have. So there's no question in my mind that this could be one of the most competitive games of the season, maybe one of the most competitive regular season games ever, when you consider what these 2 teams bring to the table naturally, and then you see how bad they want to win this game. So, this is a good time to be a Laker fan. Obviously, we love being the first at anything, so hopefully we can be the first at winning the NBA Cup. It's one of those situations where I look at this matchup and I say it's not going to disappoint, because Tyrese Halliburton, despite not being a household name, probably will be by the end of this game. Quite honestly, when you consider just how excellent of a player he's been. I've been on record telling y'all that I'm not really sure how good he is as it pertains to, is he a great player, or is he one of them legendary Michael Jordan, LeBron James type of dudes? To be honest with you, I'm not sure. When you consider just how many assists he can put up, how many points he can put up, how clutch he is, and then the fact that he doesn't turn the ball over. This is a player that you do not want to underestimate in any way. He can put you in a position to lose big games, and this is one of those opportunities for him to cement his legacy as one of those type of players, and I do not expect that he will do anything less than that. So we got to be very careful with this dude. That's basically what I'm saying to you guys. I'm a believer in Tyrese Halliburton. I'm a believer in Rick Carlisle, fantastic coach for the Pacers. Guys like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield have proven themselves time and time again in these situations, that they can be competitors in big game situations. A guy like Buddy Hield in college was a killer in a situation like this. He lived for stuff like this. So I have no doubt that he's going to have a say-so in this basketball game. And, I'm certain that LeBron James will as well. We're coming off of one of the best LeBron James Laker games maybe ever, in my opinion, where LeBron James went for over 30 points, 8 assists. I don't remember exactly what his numbers were, but he hit all kinds of three-point shots at a very, very high and efficient rate. And then from there, drew 3 charges against, 2 of which were against Zion Williamson. And he did all of this in under 28 minutes. So this was just a legendary LeBron James game in a win-or-go-home situation, a legacy-defining type of situation where he continues to cement himself as one of the greatest players to ever play the sport. And I'm happy he's here, man, through all the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of LeBron's tenure with the Lakers, and people saying he didn't want to really play for the Lakers, but more so be in LA for other opportunities. He's proven this time and time again, that was never his intention, that he was here to work, he's here to win, he's here to lead. And to say that we're lucky to have him does not quite state it properly. This is a blessing from heaven that this guy's put on our uniform. We've won a championship with him, and at the level he's playing at 38 years of age, going to be 39 later this month, I don't think there's any question about just how legendary and how blessed the Lakers are to have that player in our uniform. And then you consider we got Anthony Davis, arguably the best defender in the game. People don't respect Anthony Davis enough, in my opinion. We've talked about that. I'm not particularly unhappy with Anthony Davis at all, because I just understand that he's a defensive player with offensive talent, and not necessarily somebody you should expect to get 50 and 60 points a game from, even though he's capable of doing that at times. What he is the best shot blocker in the game, arguably the best rebounder in the game, the best defender in the game, all in one person. And so I would expect in a one-and-done situation he would shine as well tonight. His motivation should be there. Hopefully his health will follow. We don't have any issues with him staying healthy tonight, especially in a game that doesn't count in the stats. But, it is on Anthony Davis and LeBron James to carry us home. Now, obviously, we got some other players we want to see succeed, though. Jared Vanderbilt, we want to see play well. Obviously, Taurean Prince is coming off a fantastic game where he had 5 3-point shots in a very high efficiency game for himself and our team. We were very pleased with him. As I mentioned, Cam Reddish and Max Christie, we're going to need them on the wing defending, rebounding the ball. I like the aggressiveness that Max Christie has been showing as of late. We want him to continue to show that in every way possible, put himself in the best position to more or less just not make any mistakes offensively. That's really what it's about for our role players, so that our guys, LeBron and AD, can just carry us home. Be aggressive shooting the ball. Be aggressive taking it to the rim. Get to the line and hit your foul shots. Rebound the ball to the best of your ability, depending on the game plan, if we're getting back or not. Make sure you get back. And don't try to get into a shootout with them. Don't try to get into a running match with them. These are things that don't play in our favor. We want to slow the game down. We want them to play our pace. We want to force turnovers where we can. We want to put a lot of looks on guys like Tyrese Halliburton, while simultaneously understanding that he is the best assist man in the league today. So doubling him is probably a very bad decision. So these are all things we understand. And to a point, it's been understood that the Indiana Pacers, despite having such a fantastic offense, are not overly great. They're not the great Pacers that otherwise we're preparing to play against. They are 5th in the Eastern Conference. They are beatable. And so we need to make sure we put ourselves in a position to take the experience that we have, for which is a lot more than them, just like against the Pelicans, and push them to their limit with that experience and with our talent. So all in all, I'm just looking forward to a fantastic, competitive, legendary-like game. I really am. I don't expect any blowouts on either side, unless one team or another doesn't respect what the other team's extreme strength is. If we do get in that running match, shooting match with them, they're going to beat us. If they happen to not take our defense seriously and turn the ball over and have unforced turnovers like they did against Portland, we're going to beat them. So these are things that you can understand are just inevitable. These are the two talented basketball clubs that match up very well with one another, have a pretty good extensive history from the year 2000, where we beat them in 6 games in the NBA Finals. And, of course, as I said, that Nembhard game that I won't soon forget. And I'm glad he's not out there, to be honest with you, because he can harass and bring forth a lot of problems for guys like D'Lo and Austin Reeves. So, Mathurin can do the same. He will be out there, and he can have a massive game. You got to respect Ben Mathurin. Fantastic forward, shooting guard combination, two-way guy with a lot of athleticism, a whole lot of talent, man. A whole lot of talent for Ben Mathurin. He's only getting better every game, and he's going to be one of the stars on this Pacer team going forward. So, you just got to respect the Pacers, man, honestly. They really have a lot of players that can really hurt you. Isaiah Jackson was 4 for 5 in the last game against the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. He's a good power forward. Probably somebody who's going to have a chip on his shoulder, given the fact he was drafted by us but traded away. These are things that we understand. T.J. McConnell loves playing against the Lakers. He loves playing against anybody. In a one-game situation, he's one of the people I do not like facing in this situation. So I expect for him to have a big game with the minutes given. And he leaves me uneasy. As a Laker fan, as a fan of basketball, period, when you know the role player is a lot better than the role he's been playing his entire career, that's who T.J. McConnell is. He's a lot better than the role he's been playing his entire career. And so we just got to respect that. When he gets on the floor, you got to be all eyes up. He's just like, as we were trying to prepare ourselves for Jose Alvarado stealing the balls in the inbounds, he is crafty like that. He has that type of mentality. He's going to try to sneak around, steal the ball from you, flop off of you, whatever he has to do, be physical, get in your head. He's one of those. A mixture of Patrick Beverly, Jose Alvarado. He's one of those type of guys. So we had better be aware when he checks in the game that we need to be on high alert on both sides of the floor. He's going to force turnovers. He's going to make plays for others. It's going to happen. And so these are things that I'm ready for. And, they just got some scrappy dudes, man. High energy, high intensity personalities is what I see there. When I look at Tyrese Halliburton, Ben Mathurin, T.J. McConnell, these are guys that I just expect to show up for a game like this. They're going to be wide awake for this game. And so when you look at them, you know that, and you bring that same intensity. This is not one of those nights where Austin Reeves can disappear. This is not a D'Lo night where he's missing shots and not showing up. This is not an AD night where he don't have it tonight. This is not a 1 for 8 3-point shooting LeBron night. If any of those things happen, we're on the wrong end of this thing, because the Pacers aren't going to be playing no games with us. However, because they're not so good defensively, you should be able to get the looks you want. You should be able to have a big Austin Reeves night. And so these are the type of things that we're just hopeful will happen. Tyrese Halliburton is somebody you should have a healthy fear for, because he is clutch. He has beat some teams that you would consider to be quote-unquote better than us at this point. With the Celtics going down, that's who the other team was that played 3 games ago, by the way. And, of course, the Bucks going down and all of the different things that the Pacers have done this year to establish themselves as much as they have. We just got to understand, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar. He's a superstar of the highest order at this point. He's establishing that this season, and he doesn't turn the ball over. The whole team doesn't. The best team in the league for that. He's the best player in the league for that, and we need to be ready for that as the best defensive team in the league, in my opinion. So let's be ready, man. Be ready for the Los Angeles Lakers Pacer game at 5:30. We're most definitely going to see high intensity for the cup, $500,000 on the table for both of these teams. And look, man, at the end of the day, we've worked very hard to get this far into this situation. We've worked very hard to get to where we are in regards to having an opportunity at the NBA Cup. We have taken every game seriously. We've defeated every team in front of us, whether it be home, on the road. Everybody's going down to the Los Angeles Lakers in this tournament situation. The Pacers are not the best team we've seen in this situation. Let's just be honest. They're not. They're great for who they are and for who they've beaten. They should be respected. But we've seen higher talent against us. However, nobody, and I mean nobody, has a better offense than them or takes care of the ball better than them. So that is what we're up against tonight. We're going to get a real test to see how good we are defensively. As I said, we're going to see this team twice more later on this season. And we're healthy, man. When we're healthy, I don't think there's too many teams better than us. We really have the ability to score with the best of them, especially the way Bron and AD are capable of. And Austin Reeves starting to find his confidence. D'Lo's shot has been falling for the most part. We can score with anybody. But we can definitely defend everybody. And so that's what I'm hopeful we'll see tonight, is us continuing to flex on teams. And with our fully healthy dose of wings and players that are all back ready to go with $500,000 on the line for each of them, I just expect for us to bring it to the Pacers and ultimately outplay them with a good game plan and with our heads on straight. That's really what it's about. Don't be too nervous and get into shootouts with them. Don't get into an ego battle trying to shoot threes where you don't have no need to do so. Just do what it is that you know you should as a Los Angeles Lakers basketball club and run the right game plan. And, you know, Darvin's going to have to help us a lot with that by making good decisions, by following the game plan, you know, by calling timeouts where necessary, respecting Tyrese Halliburton's clutch ability and shooting ability. You do not want him to see a couple shots go down and not react to that with momentum. You want to control momentum. It's just a one-game situation, so anything can go wrong. You know, in a game like this, a guy rolls an ankle can change the whole game. Bad substitution pattern, take the whole chip away from you. So these are things that we need to understand. They give you a trophy for this one. You got to be ready for that. Come too far not to get it, and I don't think you're going to be happy if you walk away from it not getting it. So that's really what I got to say about that, man. Lakers versus Pacers, 5:30. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. I had to come outside. I didn't even want to sit in the room for this video. That's how serious it was for me. I'm looking up, and you know what I see? Look what I see, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. BDL 44. And thank you all for watching. I'm out.